Dexter Morgan made it a point to meticulously, even obsessively, collect blood trophies from each of his victims. Tiny glass slides, each containing a single drop of a victim's blood. But why? His world was defined by secrecy, precision, and a strict moral code, with the key word here being secrecy, and rule number 1 being don't get caught. So then why would someone as careful as Dexter do something so risky, seemingly against the very rules that kept him safe, by keeping a detailed record of his crimes? In this video, we'll dig deep into every major theory that's ever been tried to explain Dexter's blood slides. Let us know at the end if you agree with the list or if we've missed any theories. One of the most common theories is that Dexter's blood slides are a form of meticulous record-keeping, a personal ledger to confirm he has executed justice. According to Harry's code, Dexter only kills those who have murdered innocents and escaped conventional punishment.
Son, there are people out there who do really bad things. Terrible people.
By cataloging each victim's blood, Dexter believes he is righting the wrongs of a broken system that failed to lock these murderers away. In his own twisted way, Dexter sees his killings as righteous, with each blood slide becoming a piece of concrete evidence in Dexter's mind that the kill was justified, and serves as a receipt, so to speak, that confirms the morbid transaction. A killer has been punished, and society, in Dexter's eyes, is safer.
How many more bodies would there be had I not stopped those killers? I didn't do it to save lives, but save lives I did.
In this way, the slides feed into his moral self-image. He's not just a killer, he's performing a necessary task and keeping records like any diligent enforcer would. And throughout the series, Dexter often reflects on his own kills. For example, after taking out Jamie Jaworski, a murderer who preyed on vulnerable women, Dexter sits alone reviewing his slides, silently acknowledging that he followed the code's principles. By archiving these slides, he's building his own library of cases closed. It's as though the slides validate that he remains faithful to Harry's teachings. Another theory is that the blood slides are nothing more than Dexter's predatory trophies.
Explain it to us.
Trophies.
Serial killers in reality often keep tokens of their victims as grim souvenirs. Ted Bundy took mementos of his victims. The BTK killer kept detailed records. And in Dexter, the ice truck killer, Brian Moser, displayed dismembered body parts as art. So it doesn't really come as a surprise that Dexter would need to keep something of his victims. Dexter's blood slides could fit neatly into this tradition of serial killer trophies, macabre keepsakes to remind him of each kill and let him relive the moment of violent triumph over evil over and over. Even Dexter's internal monologue sometimes hints at the pleasure he takes in his rituals.
But this part, the ritual, the connection and certainty, followed by that pristine silence, is for me.
In the early stages of developing his rituals, Dexter stumbled upon the idea of creating a tangible token to mark his actions. It wasn't a deliberate decision at first, but rather a moment of inspiration that took hold as he worked. This act became the foundation of a deeply personal tradition for Dexter, one that defined him on an almost instinctual level. But in a hypocritical turn of events, when Miguel Prado tried to keep a keepsake of his first murder of Billy Fleeter, a debt enforcer who killed other gamblers to pay off his own debts, he was lectured by Dexter on the importance of not keeping any mementos of the crime, the very rule Dexter repeatedly breaks.
Not a good idea.
That would be against your code, huh?
Sorry.
Harry never intended Dexter to relish his kills. He intended them purely as a necessary outlet to prevent Dex from harming innocents, or worse, getting the electric chair. Reflecting on this habit, he acknowledged it as something significant, even though his father would not approve.
A trophy. My first. My father wouldn't approve, but what can I say? You inspired me.
Dexter's ritual of collecting blood slides is more than just a habit. It's a reflection of his lifelong obsession with blood, deeply tied to the trauma that made him who he was. As a baby, Dexter was found sitting in a pool of his mother's blood after her brutal murder, an event that left a lasting scar on his and his brother Brian Moser's psyche. This fixation on blood influences every aspect of his life, from his career as a blood splatter analyst to his ritual of preserving blood slides. So for Dexter, blood represents more than life or death. It's a link to the violence that shaped him and the dark passenger he struggles to control. Some theories interpret the blood slides as a way for Dexter to confront and reclaim his original trauma. By collecting blood, he symbolically revisits the moment of his mother's murder, transforming fear into control, with each slide representing a ritualistic attempt to rewrite his past, turning helplessness into control. Instead of being a passive victim, trapped in the shipping container of his nightmares, he takes control over the violence. The blood slides soothe the wounded child within Dexter, providing a sense of order and power over the chaos of his life. Each slide becomes a personal connection to his past, allowing him to transform his darkest fears into something he can control. While the ritual serves as a reminder of his kills, it also reflects on his ongoing attempt to manage the trauma and reclaim his sense of self. This theory suggests that the blood slides in Dexter represent a powerful symbol of control amidst chaos, reflecting Dexter's need to impose order on a life shaped by childhood trauma and violent urges. Unlike the messy, brutal nature of his killings, the slides are meticulously prepared, cataloged, and stored in a perfectly arranged box. In a way, psychologically, acting as a form of self-therapy, helping him process his actions and channel his violent urges into a structured ritual. And this interpretation aligns with Harry's code, which serves as an anchor structure to contain Dexter's violent impulses. The code transforms his homicidal tendencies into a ritual governed by rules, much like the blood slides transform the mess of his killings into something clean and orderly. He also panics at the thought of losing them, showing how much they mean to his emotional stability, like the time when Dokes stole them from his apartment and he realized the slides were gone. Like a librarian meticulously organizing books, Dexter organizes his blood slides in perfectly straight lines, mirroring the rigid structure of his code and providing him with the illusion of comfort in an otherwise chaotic existence. Another popular theory suggests that the blood slides in Dexter are more than just keepsakes. They act as a silent confession and a constant reminder of the dark passenger within him. Each droplet of blood represents a timestamp of his crimes, forcing Dexter to confront the monster hiding beneath his carefully crafted facade of normalcy. By keeping tangible proof of his murders, Dexter ensures he never forgets who he truly is. And when he looks at the slides, they reflect his inner darkness back at him, much like a mirror. In a way, it can almost be said that Dexter subconsciously wants someone to uncover his secret. And there have been several instances, not counting those wrapped in plastic, where Dexter confesses to being a serial killer, providing him a sense of relief, like when he confessed to Nicholas Galway and even Camilla Figg on her deathbed. Otherwise, why would he keep such incriminating evidence? This theory suggests he might be testing himself, acknowledging his darkness each time he opens the slide box. For Dexter, the blood slides are more than evidence of his kills. They are a way to confirm to himself that he has followed Harry's code. The code, created by his adoptive father, demands undeniable proof of a victim's guilt before they are killed. By taking a blood slide, Dexter ensures he is upholding this rule. If someone doesn't meet the code's strict criteria, no blood is taken. Making the slides serves physical proof that his actions align with Harry's teachings. This need for the burden of proof is so important that it was one of the defining moments that caused the rift between Dexter and Miguel Prado, when he refused to kill Eileen Wolf for Miguel, as she had not killed anyone.
We can't kill her.
I see.
She's just doing her job.
Each slide serves to reassure Dexter that every kill was justified, allowing him to maintain the belief that he operates within a moral framework. These moments reveal how the slides bolster his sense of righteousness and provide a structure for his dark urges. And anyone who gets in the way of this ideology, like Miguel Prado did, is dealt with swiftly and unmercilessly.
Okay. I know. I crossed the line here. I know. I'm like you.
No. I know I'm a monster.
You're a little freak! You think I'm done with you? You think this ends here? It doesn't!
It does for you.
The slides also act as tokens of Dexter's devotion to the code, almost like sacred objects validating his actions. A reminder that, despite his darkness, he is still striving to live by the rules that keep his monstrous side under control. Dexter's blood slides hold quite a bit of symbolic weight and meaning. On a basic level, the blood slides represent how Dexter is obsessed with the past, like his mother's murder, his haunted thoughts of his brother, and his relationship with Harry. Dexter constantly clings to his memories, and the blood slides are a way to show that he holds onto those memories even when they jeopardize his future. The blood slides also do quite a bit of work in giving Dexter its suspense. For most of the show, they were hidden nearly in plain sight, just behind the grating of his air conditioning unit. Because they were barely hidden, Dexter's blood slides also represent just how close he was at all times, on several occasions, to being exposed as a serial killer. If anyone, including the several people who had searched his apartment, had found his box of slides, he would have been arrested. Dexter was living a very precarious life as a serial killer, and his blood slides were a very stark reminder of that. His blood slides are a sign that Dexter isn't as different from the people he kills as the code of Harry makes him seem. On a deeper level, Dexter's blood slides reveal something important about his character. Taking trophies is something that regular serial killers do, and it's evidence that Dexter was actually enjoying and reminiscing about his kills. Objectively, he's just as much of a killer as any one of the victims he kills, and the blood slides are proof of that. We've examined every fan theory and the direct explanations and insights regarding Dexter's blood slides. They emerge as complex symbols, trophies, ledgers, coping mechanisms, secret confessions, and forensic parallels. These layers reveal Dexter's obsession with blood and his constant struggle to balance Harry's code with the darker instincts that drive him, showing just how complex and fragile his dual life truly is. At their core, the slides remind us that Dexter is both a hunter and a man haunted by his own darkness, always walking the thin line between control and chaos. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the meaning of Dexter's blood slides and would like more content like this, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.